Welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining us on another Monday evening. I'm your host, HavoK Nades, podcast season 2, episode 3. So welcome. If you're over watching this as a video, then thank you so much. If you're on Twitch and you're gonna be watching this tonight, thank you for the continued support on this series. Like I said, it's every Monday type of thing. So today we do have a few new topics. We're going to be going over one in particular, and we do have two special guests with us today, and we'll be introducing them in just a second. So, welcome in. Thank y'all. Sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and let's get right on over into things. Alright, is everyone ready on Discord?
Man.
All right.
Really? They're only like 9 or
What's
10
up, guys?
on the island.
All right. Welcome in, like I said. Pleasure having everyone.
How do I change it?
So
There
we're
we
gonna
go.
get everyone up and running. Let's
Okay,
get
we're
Shark's camera on. Welcome in, guys. So thank y'all so much. Like I said, the blonde Jesus, welcome in, dude. I think you're one of the
What's up,
ones that's
Jesus?
been here every single time. So let's make sure I got Shark's picture centered. Oh, that's not that. Let's not get that. Okay. Yep, Shark. Everything's good. So welcome in. Thank y'all guys so
Wait,
much.
my face ain't cut off this week?
No, it's not cut off. Thank God.
All right, we're
I don't
good.
see his face at all.
I know. Austin, you're fine, bud.
I was like, what?
So Austin's fine. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Today's gonna be a little bit shorter of a podcast. Really not too much happened, guys. So but some big things did happen within the org, and I'm happy to announce that we have two guests with us this week. We have Miss Fortune. She joined back onto the team after coming on and off of the team, so she's finally back with us. So big shouts out to her, as well as Mr. Smooth. So big shouts out to Smooth. He's going to be with us. They're both calling in. So like I said, every single week we're going to try to, from here on out, get someone new on the podcast. So if you'd like to be on that, then please do let me, Austin, or Shark know. Like I said, I'm HavoK Nades. You can follow me at HavoK Nades on Twitter, at HavoK Shark, at HavoK Prophecy, as well as I believe it's HVK Smooth. Is that correct? Where can we find you on Twitter?
HavoK Smooth.
At HavoK Smooth, and then Cammy, or HavoK Fortune. You can find her on Twitter at HavoK Fortune. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct. Okay. Awesome. So we're gonna get right on into things. So like I said, we got two new people with us. So we're glad to always have them. This week's topics that we're gonna be going over is gonna be COD, Fortnite, Marvel vs. Capcom for Mr. Smooth, so we're going to let him talk about that a little bit, as well as CSGO, our thoughts on it. It's not going to be too much. Like I said, it's going to be one of the shorter podcasts, but hopefully you guys will enjoy this one. We've had a lot of good feedback on it, so that's always good, especially for the host. That means I get to keep my job. So, let's go over COD real quick. So, we as a team, we've been looking around at what's been going on in the community, and with the fall off of our team, unfortunately they didn't place as well as what we wanted them to, and I think they let themselves down as well. I don't think it was that big of a letdown as a whole. However, it wasn't where we wanted them to be, but there's been a lot of roster jockeying. Roster mania is what they're calling it. So I'll let Shark go over what has actually been going on a little bit more in detail.
Oh my goodness. So let's see. Holler wanted to join a new team, so we let him go. It was unfortunate, but like Nate said, we didn't place as well as we wanted to. I think we were top 33 to 40. I think it was.
Yep.
Just
Yes, sir.
unfortunate. Our first loss was to Lightning Pandas. Great team. Made cool play. And then Infused it was, right, Austin?
Tempered Minds.
Tempered
Oh,
Minds.
Australians.
Yeah, Tainted Minds. Yeah.
Minds, yeah, the ones that I was yelling at.
Right. So that put us in. We took that loss, and that put us in the top 40. As of right now, Call of Duty is it's getting a little unstable. There's a lot of new news coming out.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let
That's
me pull up
unfortunate.
the number of free agents.
A lot.
All right.
Enigma
here
6
we
roster,
go.
by the way, changed completely.
Didn't General release that he's a free
Yeah,
agent?
he was going to be a free agent, or
I know Censor tweeted out he's
he
a
was just
free
doing
agent,
anything
so
to get a team. Yeah, that whole team is done though. I think he's been playing with Sender, Diabolic, and Beezy, which is from
Yes.
Amity.
correct.
Let's see. Mox from Ghost Gaming is a free agent. Llama Gods, Sensor, as you mentioned, Nagafen,
Blast?
Blast T,
Yeah.
Sharp and Nelislow, Stainville and Wheats, M. Ruiz, former HavoK member, Profizi, Glory, Phantoms is a team of 3, supposedly.
Who did Phantoms
Miracle
drop?
Spander, Godorex, and Moach. They
Who did-
were a team. Seems like they all dispersed, and they recently announced free agency. So Call of Duty is just a bloodbath right now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like any team can really, stick together. And that's what we were talking about going into NOLA. Like, we felt good about it. We kept the same roster, except for Exib. So we felt really good going into it. It was one of the bigger events. So definitely there was a lot of teams that you would have had to have played in the pool play.
I can see Austin on the stream, but I can't see
Or the
him
open.
in the call.
I don't know.
why it's doing it.
Don't
So
know.
it's like delayed.
But then I'm
Possibly.
on the street. We're good.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
you're
Your face isn't cut off. I'm surprised that was on. We need to have like a top
was so
5
funny.
for like plays wise, and then we need to have like the top 5 funniest moments too, because that, oh my god, that was hilarious, man. If you guys did not see last week, just like fast forward 10 minutes into it and start watching from
You
there.
can catch it on our YouTube channel.
Oh my god, it was so
By the way,
funny.
we can't get Nightbot on our channel. I don't know why. It hates
Yeah, I
us.
don't know. I saw that. I don't know why Nightbot will
Non-existent.
not work.
It won't work.
So
He left us. He's not committed
yeah,
anymore.
he doesn't
Right.
believe in us.
You can watch previous podcasts on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, definitely. As well as
yeah.
we have some top 5s on there, as well as our good friend above me, Mr. HavoK Prophecy, has been doing some challenges with one of his good friends. So those, I believe, after they go live on his channel, we've been taking them from there and popping them on our YouTube channel as well. So please be sure to go check those out. But getting right back into COD, like the next COD event is going to be CWL Atlanta. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, as you two being the owners, are y'all looking for teams right now? What's the mindset? I know that there's
For Call of Duty.
yeah, for Call of Duty, it
Yeah,
really
I
is
don't wanna make
scary.
any announcements. I don't want to make any announcements about it yet.
Okay.
Like the Pro League is about to start.
Yeah.
I think this coming week. So yeah, I don't want to make any announcements, but
That's understandable. That's
gonna,
understandable. I mean, it's been really scary
eye
for a lot of smaller orgs. I'm not saying that we're a smaller org by any means, because I think that we're right there in like the middle tier. We're about to blow up, and that's what we've been saying. 2018 is going to be our year, so definitely believe in that. So looking forward to that. But a lot of the smaller orgs, the ones who aren't being able to fund the full teams for but maybe one event, there's a new team that's out that's about to start taking over the game, basically. Shark, if you want to say anything on that. I forgot the name of it. It was what is the name of it?
GGEA.
Yeah, GGEA. Like, they're gonna be ruining stuff, man.
We'll see. Like
We'll
I
see.
said, I mean, they made some bold claims. They want to fund. I think they said the top 6 teams in open bracket, full salary, and bankrolling them to events. 6 teams at once, supposedly, and that's the
an
announcement
extensive
that they
price
made.
too. That's
It's something like 5K per person. Like, what?
I don't know what it is.
That's
but
20 grand a team. That's
like I said,
120,000.
We'll see what happens with that. I mean, might just be a lot of nonsense, a lot of talk, but
Shoot.
if it does happen, that's gonna change the game as far as the, I guess, semi-pro market. So we'll see
Yeah, that's
what
gonna be
happens. in
because
Call
then
of Duty.
everyone's gonna want to be on that team. So it's like you're gonna have to offer something, near that to even have a team that's competable to get your name out there. especially with like all these
We'll see.
sponsors looking at stuff, trying to get top end teams. But don't know. We're gonna have to see it to
Never know.
believe it. So
I mean, ERA was able to pick up Doom Clan's team,
right.
so ERA got themselves a pro league spot. Good for them. Congratulations. You know,
Mhm.
we'll see where Call of Duty goes throughout the year.
Definitely. So do you think COD is in trouble as a whole? I sat down recently and I really debated over this. I think COD's been falling off ever since the jetpack games came out. I think it got a big uphill rise. Whenever Boots on the Ground, came back, a lot of these pros like Sensor, everything like that, have came back to the game, and I don't think it's hurt it on a pro level. But I think as far as an audience, I think COD is dropping off. I feel like this game, it's a good game, it's a solid game. However, it's a boring game. There's a lot of stuff that's been taken out of it. As far as like sliding and everything like that. I'm not even saying like a jetpacker. Like one of my favorite Call of Duties and will always be was Black Ops 1. The Commando, I used that thing extensively. Going into I believe it was Modern Warfare 3 after Black Ops 1, and then it was Black Ops 2. So I loved all three of those games. So going to jetpacks was definitely different for me as well. But I think just as a whole, Black Ops 2, just to me, feels better than Call of Duty World War II. That's just my personal opinion, and just looking at the sheer number of people who were actually playing and streaming that, not on a pro level, but just as a stream base too, and as a fan base, I just think there's other games out there that are taking it over.
We got to remember, Activision does not make millions of dollars by making a good competitive game.
Right.
So we got to take that out of the picture.
Right.
And I think that's why you like Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1. Those games were good competitive games.
True.
Like as far as the weapon balance and things like that. Yes, they have been tweaking the weapon balance recently.
Yeah.
Had quite a few patches in the past month.
Unfortunately, before a week before the event.
But you have to remember, this is World War II, and this is what people wanted to play. The majority of the community wanted to play.
Right.
So they have to stick to World War II. They have to stick to World War II guns. Keep the gun damage realistic as possible. They were going for a more realism, even though Call of Duty is more fast paced. It's not Battlefield. Battlefield is very realism and slower paced. Call of Duty is very fast paced.
Prestigious King with the $4.99 sub. Thank you so much, buddy. 5 months in a row. You just won your Fortnite game, so congrats to that. But also thank you for the sub.
So you have to remember, it's World War II, and a lot of people play this game just because they love the pubs of the game. That's why they sell millions of copies. It's because of pubs, COD fans.
And I think as a whole, this game really did sell well. Like looking at the charts from where it was going with the jetpacks, it took a huge leap in the right direction. So I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. It's a great game. It's better than, I'd say, all the jetpackers except for maybe Black Ops 3. That was close to me, but it is all opinion based. So Delirious Gamer, hello. But as I'm just looking at what COD could do 3 years ago, whenever it was at it, I think at its highest on as far as stream wise, outside of tournaments, like MLG and everything like that, I think it had a higher viewing 3 years ago than it does right now. I think games such as Fortnite and everything like that, a lot more people play those just because they're more, they're different, and a lot of people like that. So I think the fan base has leveled for that, and I think in the next coming up years, I think they need to do something a little bit different to get the interest
and teams
back.
as well, because how they said that NOLA was the biggest Call of Duty event ever, and they said over 270 plus teams went. I was there. I seen the brackets. There was only like 175 teams, which is not that big at all. And it's there was a lot of teams in Dallas. Like Dallas was packed. When we were in Dallas, that venue was packed. There was max teams, max brackets. Maybe it was because it was the first event of the tournament or first event of the season. Excuse me. And then everyone was rushing to buy the New Orleans team passes. They kept putting out more team passes, and all of a sudden 3 days go by, everyone's trying to sell their team pass. Now, I don't know what happened, why everyone wanted to sell their team pass or what was going on, but there was at least 50 people trying to sell team passes that I know of, that I seen on Twitter or on like Reddit, for example, because I'm always on Reddit and I see people. I always check that stuff. I don't know what changed, what happened. I don't know if it's the weapons, the upgrades. They always come out with updates a week before tournaments, which is ridiculous. Because these teams practice so hard to go into this tournament to be ready, and they come out with an event a week before, and it just completely changes up the whole aspect of how they play, the weapons they use, this everything.
Right. I think that does. And I think that goes back to what Shark's saying. They're not too much concerned with what it is on a pro level. They're concerned with what it is on a multiplayer level, so it doesn't matter if an update comes out 2 days or even the day that the game releases. It's, it's for the whole fan base, so
Absolutely.
What's best for the fan base is what's going to happen, and it's unfortunate for players just because, you could go into an event and that you're going to be placing top 16, and the guns get changed, and the guns that you've been using are the ones that got affected, and then you just go and bomb the whole tournament.
Again.
FG's back, yeah. And the freaking car now. The car's still good. They nerfed it though. They nerfed the hell out of it. So it's unfortunate. Now you have to hit them. You have to hit them pretty much from the ribs up just to get the kill. Which before it was waist up. So I mean that's a big chunk of a person that you're taking out of the game in order to get a one-shot kill. But it is what it is. There's still gonna be montages made, everything like that. So I don't think it's gonna really affect too many people. You just gotta aim higher. So as what Mr. Pomage always says, just aim higher, aim for the head. But that's gonna move us out of COD unless Shark, you have anything to add on COD? Cool. We're gonna move it into Fortnite, probably my favorite game out right now. I know Austin has a freaking hell of a time playing it. Man, it's so good. With the outside the podcast last week, we knew that there was going to be an update dropping. The update has dropped, and it is gorgeous. I love the update. They added a lot new places on the map itself.
On the western side.
On the western side, which I thought was weird, but then whenever you look at the map and how it's balanced, it doesn't look like it's unbalanced at all. I still think that there's some spots on the eastern side to where they can put some stuff in the future, but we'll just have to wait and see what they do with that. So the Fortnite update, if you guys have never played Fortnite before, basically they took the same map, they just added some new points of interest there. Tilted Towers, probably mine and Austin's favorite spot to go.
Oh God, I love it.
I think that's probably like the biggest point of interest that was added. Then you've got Junk Junction, you got Snobby Shores, you've got a lot of different places. So I do encourage you to
the shifty shafts.
The shifty shafts. Oh, you snake. But yeah. So there's a lot of new places, and there's a lot of new aspects that you have to look out for. So I think that was what they were trying to accomplish in the mines over at Epic Games. They were trying to add elevation and height to the game, which before it was only really like 2-story buildings. That was it. And I think the only 2-story buildings really were in Pleasant, which is just one point of the map. So now they added another big city, Tilted Towers, and God, me and Austin were running up that thing. It felt like a minute just to get to the top. You're just spiraling up these steps. He was getting dizzy. It was so funny. But yeah, I mean they're adding some big buildings in there, so hopefully they continue in the right way. The hit reg is fixed a little bit. Bloom is still a thing, but they did tone it down a little bit. So we're still waiting for them to announce that they're going to be dropping the
They fixed the scope.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Oh, the scope is so good now. So before it had like the little bitty V, like the V type sight, and it sucked. Like it absolutely sucked. But
couldn't hit a broadside of a barn with it.
Yeah, you could be sitting still, crouched, and aim at their head, and the bullet would just miss. Like, what good was that gun before? But now you've got a gun that's actually decent in battles. I think it's still not a close range gun.
No, not at all.
Not at all. It's not a far range. It's more of the medium, and it's one of those guns to where whenever you pick it up, you're not going to be as upset as you were before the patch, but definitely an AR.
I'll swap it for a pump all day. I don't care.
Yeah. You're still pumps and the ARs are gonna rule over top of it, but it is still a viable option. So glad that they did fix that. Also Fortnite League. We as a team, we've been, putting our heads together on what we're going to be doing about all of this. Like I said, last week, I believe it was, we do have teams planned out, which now we can release details on the PC team, which we'll get to in just a second, but as well as the PS4 team and the Xbox team. I've been playing with the PS4 guys. They're phenomenal. They get a lot of wins. They're not as known, obviously, because it's not PC, and a lot of the top-end people, it's a PC game. That's what it's going to be ran off of. That's what the big tournaments are going to be. But with the league, they did release that it's going to be for all platforms, so there will be tournaments for everything. So we definitely do want a team inside of each one of them. Just giving a shout out over to the guys, Fixie, Almighty, Biblical, as well as, what's the other guy's name?
He's brand new. It's really,
yeah.
Is it Iconic?
Iconic, yep, maybe? Iconic. Okay. So big shouts out to them. So they've been getting things done, man. Like whenever I play with them, we played 10 games yesterday and we won 6 of them. So I mean, for 60% win loss with a team, that's phenomenal. So they're only gonna get better. So I'm glad for that. As well as over on the Xbox side of things, myself, Prophecy, Misfortune now has an Xbox, so she's gonna be playing that. She wants a keyboard and mouse, unfortunately. But
Shark's dropping body.
Shark's been dropping bodies.
Dropping bodies. Cheers.
I'm like, Shark, what are you doing? He's like, I've been dropping bodies. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, how many kills you get? I got like 4, man. I've been dropping bodies. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh my god.
So we have a blast.
Win yesterday?
Actually, she got 2 yesterday. First day with the game. 2 wins.
It was 2.
2 wins yesterday. So
I dropped 14 kills in that win. It's ridiculous.
In that win, and then the other win, I believe I dropped 12. So I mean,
yeah.
So we've been getting some pretty decent wins.
You're a healer. It's okay. We go down. You.
Oh, that's what I am. Okay.
Yeah, you're just a healer. You're there for backup. You're there for moral support. You're like the cheerleader of the team. And if we faint,
you're like our extra backpack. So like, we need weapons. You just carry.
You're the team's fanny pack.
What? Oh Lord.
But the Fortnite League, I think, is going to be good. I'm just curious to see how they're going to implement it on the console system. The Xbox lag did get fixed, which I'm super stoked about because I did have to use wired, but now I can use wireless, which, I mean, isn't the biggest deal, but whenever I use a wired connection, I can't stream off of my PC, which kind of sucks, so I just got to get another power line adapter, but that's besides the point. With PC now, Mr. John Uzumaki is a beast at the game. We were talking to him back and forth, trying to figure out if, what we were going to do about the Fortnite season that was coming up, and he finally gave us his decision. He's going to be staying with HVK. He's going to be staying with his roots. So he is now the Fortnite captain for HavoK ESports, which I think is very good for us for a couple of different reasons. I think the biggest reason is when he goes to this Epic Games Invitational, when he rips through everyone, we're going to be, when they announce it, or whatever tournament's going to be the biggest one in Fortnite. Fortnite's a huge game, so whatever the first tournament is going to get a lot of attention on the organization as well as the players that place high in it. With HavoK ESports having one of the, if not the best player in the game, we're going to be placing pretty high, so that's going to bring us a huge market, both on social media as well as for John himself.
Your volume down just a tad.
So, very excited for that. And then we also, I'll let Austin talk a little bit about his partner. And Nick,
Scubby.
Scubby, exactly.
Scubby, he's maybe not, as well known as John, because, he's not that far up on the leaderboards, because Scubby likes to play a mix between, he's not a solo player, he likes to play duos and squad more often. But if you guys watch Scubby play, he is a very good team player. He is an animal when it comes to very good on getting the right angle at the right time. He's a partnered streamer, very entertaining as well, just as John. They have the same personality. They mesh well together, which is good. They're going to be looking for 2, and I've kind of talked to them a little bit on, how it's been going and stuff. And they said they want to kind of wait. It's going to probably be about a month, so wait for these custom games to come out so they actually can practice with people and other teams to see how everything goes. So
Right.
if you guys do want to try out and you guys are really, really good at Fortnite, message them. Don't bug them. Message them once or twice. They should get back to you. But they're going to be trying out everybody to find the right fixture for that team, because these guys, in my heart, these guys, I'm not being biased, but if you go watch them play, you go watch other top streamers play, these guys, I believe, are way better than all these top streamers. So
yeah, if they make it out of the first 2 minutes, they win the game, like hands down.
Yep,
They're winning the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think they played. I sat and I watched them play 10 games as a team, and they won 9 of them. It's nuts, just what they're doing. It's like it's no chill.
Did you see the clip of them doing the rocket ride for the win?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
I've not seen that. I heard that they did.
Oh,
I think it was
man.
you that mentioned it, and you had told me about that, and I've seen what the rocket ride is, so I can only imagine like what that is with 2 of the best people in the game. So some other news outside of what we have on the
Hold on.
on the little sheet.
Wait. Time out, Nate. I'm gonna send you the clip.
You gonna send me the clip? You want me to play it?
I'm gonna send you the clip.
Okay, you're gonna send me the clip.
Clip it.
All right, let me go back to
Play
the
it for
podcast.
the
Welcome.
podcast.
All
This
right.
was awesome.
Boom. All right.
Got John Jones' perspective.
What'd you send it to me on?
In our group chat here.
In our group chat. Boom up.
On Discord.
All right, here we go. All right, give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. Okay, podcast. Let me see this. Let me do display capture, add existing display. Okay. All right, here we go. And then move this down. Underneath. What did I do? Didn't mean to do that. All right, let's watch it.
2, 1, jump.
Okay, try again. Here, launch me this way. Launch me this way.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, jump. Ready on you.
Yeah.
You're next.
Go.
3. Oh.
No. I'm just fucking fly. Get him.
See how glitchy it is while he's on the rocket?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. He read it. That's the one.
Ah.
No, it's gonna be dope. GG.
Nice.
Oh man,
From John John's
that's
perspective,
crazy,
I can't
man.
find the clip right now, but from John John's perspective, it's super funny. Because you see Scubby jump up and land on the rocket and then go flying.
It's freaking crazy, man.
Towards the other player.
And these guys get mad hype when they play too,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like
They're fun to watch.
they're super fun to watch. They're definitely going to turn a lot of heads this season, and I'm super excited.
Yeah. So, I've never really done a rocket ride, so I want to do one.
All about timing. You don't time it right. Well, now that you can't hurt your teammates anymore, you can try it without getting team damage. So we can try it out tonight. We'll see how it works. The
Yeah, it
semi
works.
fly. You know me, I got the rockets in the back pocket. I'll send you flying, and then I'll jump pad
Sounds
to
good,
you.
man. Sounds good. Also, guys, big shouts out to Shark as well as Prophecy. I think me and Prophecy, we're going to be switching off each week as far as who's going to be streaming afterwards. We're going to be playing Fortnite afterwards. If you guys do want to see something different, I know this is off on a
PUBG
tangent.
beforehand.
And PUBG
Mr.
beforehand
Boy.
with Mr. Shark. So, we've got, I would say, a solid at least 3 to 4 hours of entertainment in a row for you guys each Monday. So please drop in before, during the podcast, as well as after. So we're going to keep you guys entertained. So, and if you guys would like to see any games played in the future, please do let us know. Don't hesitate. So, thank you all for that. Now, the PC team, I think it's almost going to wrap it up for Fortnite, where we're going to be going over, like I said, it's going to be a short podcast, short, sweet, and simple. Not that much stuff happens. So next week with CSGO, I think CSGO is going to be talked about a little bit more next week. We'll comment on some things this week, but that's going to be a big topic next week. But the PC team is definitely getting lit. Mr. Scubby as well as John, they're definitely hyped for the tournaments to start, everything like that. So I cannot wait to see them progress in their teamwork as well as who they're going to be teaming with. So I'm just very, very excited for that. Now, someone who's been quiet the whole time, Mr. Smooth, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing good.
That's good. That's good. For you guys who do not know who Mr. Smooth is, he plays a lot of games that you probably haven't really, seen, watched, everything like that. It's more of a fighting type of game, so Marvel vs. Capcom, everything like that. So Mr. Smooth did win us one of our first, or it was our first LAN, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Our first LAN champion is HavoK. Yes, sir.
Yep, so big shouts out to him. I know Mr. Smooth.
You guys are welcome. I told you guys I owed you one, so.
So Mr. George Slice is in here. What's up, man? But yeah, Mr. Smooth has been putting in work, hard work. Heard that you quit your job, so that's got to definitely be nerve-wracking for you. But you're putting.
Not really. I mean,
really?
We're gonna make money off this video games now.
Okay.
We're gonna make money off the fighting game scene.
All right. Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Sir.
Hey, more power to you.
So we won. What was it? Marvel vs. Capcom 2? Was it Smooth?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm?
Champs, tell us how that went down. Going through the bracket.
It was easy. It was everybody pretty much got 3-0'd. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
give us the details. How'd it go?
All right. First off, I wasn't even gonna enter the game. They actually entered me in the game, and when I seen it on Smash GG, I was like, I didn't pay for this. It was like, oh no, we paid for you to enter. It was like, oh, we're gonna beat you, blah blah blah, and I was like, all right. Played, swept the bracket through. I think the guy got like one game in grand final, so that was like 3-1. And that was it, pretty much. It was like it's easy, man. It's like riding a bike. I haven't played that game in so long.
Man, that's gotta suck for them, though.
There's also been a grand finalist at Evo. For you guys who know what Evo is, it is the Super Bowl of fighting games. You want to qualify for Evo, and he did play the legend Justin Wong in the grand finals, I believe. Right? Correct?
Losers finals.
Losers
top 3.
finals. Okay, so you made top 3. Excuse me. But still, you made top 3 at the Super Bowl before, and you're not
once.
Pressure.
Yeah.
So
No, definitely not. I mean, at Evo, I've been on that grand stage 3 times in a row, like 2007, 2008, 2009, back-to-back 3rd place, and then 7th place 2009. And the worst I did was 9th, which was what 2010.
So you've been in it for a while.
Yeah. My first Evo in 2006, I straight ran through my bracket. I went to losers bracket first round and got 13th place.
Wow, that's a grind.
Yeah, I played straight out.
So also Saturday you played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, correct? That is the newest updated Marvel vs. Capcom game, right?
Yes, it is.
Want to go ahead and break that down? How that went?
Well, I pretty much lost the qualifying match to Dual Kevin. He 3-0'd me. Certain things I didn't know about the matchup, so he had like a little bit more knowledge, and definitely was a good player. But everybody that did play in that pool before I got to that matchup, everybody got 3-0'd. The same thing to qualify at 3-0. Then let me see. I played Kinder Party, who I beat 3-1. Knowledge of learning new characters. The game is still pretty new, so I'm learning as I'm going.
Especially with the new update, right? Because they did recently update the game, right?
Yes, they did.
Now, what system's that played on? Sorry for cutting you off.
We play it on PS4.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But you could play it on the PC, which is way better actually than the PS4. But the thing is, the tournaments are like sponsored by Sony, so Sony gets the final word on it, which is why Evo does all their tournaments on, unless it's Smash. But all those games are run on Sony PS4s.
Gotcha.
Now, is it cross-platform between PC and PS4?
No, that's the suck part. That's like the whack part about it. Street Fighter V is cross-platform, but not Marvel.
Street Fighter V is basically it's a fighting game. So does it have similar mechanics?
No, it's more like down the ground, like a fighting game. So you don't really you have a super jump in Marvel. You don't have that. Like if you jump in Street Fighter, you can't block. So that's when like anti-airs come in, all that other stuff.
Gotcha.
Now you made it all the way through loser's side because you lost in the winners finals and pool play, correct, to make it out?
Yeah. All I had to do was win one more match to make it out. So I was right there waiting for the people to
And-
finish up their losers bracket matches.
Yep. So you went into top 16 on the losers side, and you ended up
Mhm.
playing your training buddy, right, Punisher?
Yeah, don't even remind me.
I know.
Austin told us that we were playing Fortnite yesterday. He was like, "Guess who we played and lost to?" I was like, "Oh no."
The Rocket is such a cheap character,
Yeah, I
man.
call it.
So, when you want to go and explain what kind of character Rocket is for those who don't know,
All right.
fighting games.
So Rocket Raccoon is probably he's got to be top 2 in the game. You know, he puts his landmine downs and then he tags out and the party gets started. It's not that I can't snipe out the landmines. It's once he gets his other character out and he's protecting his landmines, I can't move forward. I can't advance. So he's pushing me back. And if I advance forward, I have to watch it because now I got to watch my feet and my head at the same time. So I got to watch for instant overheads. And it doesn't even help it that he plays on a hitbox. So his movement is like 3 times faster. Like you could short hop in the game and he short hops so low. Like it's kind of impossible to block at times.
Because he's so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
But you ended up getting 9th. You know, you
Mhm.
made it out of top 16. You got 9th place. You know, you did get. All in all, it was a good weekend for you.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. The next event you're going to will be. What is the next event you're going to be going to?
Either combo breaker or final round. Final round, I'm not too sure about because that venue fee is a little bit iffy. But I definitely want to go to combo breaker because that's like one of the biggest majors.
Mm-hmm.
Itself, and top 8 pays out, and it's the same dudes running it from Frosty. So I definitely know it's going to be a good tournament.
Yeah, they definitely put on a very good tournament. They're on schedule.
Mhm. They ran over 50 games, and they were all on time.
Yeah, and Shark didn't realize how many people are in y'all's brackets. Like I don't think there's a set amount of people that can sign up for the tournament. It's just whoever signs up, signs up.
Yep,
I believe there was
there's
like
no cap.
100. Yeah, no cap. There was like 160 players, and you got 9th out of 160.
Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
we were
That's a
talking about it.
lot.
It's about as many teams as there were in Call of Duty. Well, because
Yeah.
it's individual players.
Yeah.
Each
Yeah.
pool had about like depending, like 35 to 40 players.
Jesus.
Same number of entries.
A lot.
Yeah. And also, you are gonna pick up a new game, right? Coming out on the 26th, I believe.
Yeah, so we will be in there. Like I said, I was telling you guys earlier that Hot 97 is getting into esports, and right now they're actually streaming a tournament in Hot 97 Studios for Dragon Ball
That's
Fighter Z.
awesome.
What?
And it is confirmed that there will be an ESL for Dragon Ball Fighter Z with over
That's
400K in prizes, 450K in prizes.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's huge for the fighting game community. You know, y'all's payouts for y'all's tournaments, are very minuscule to a lot of other games. So that's definitely
Yep.
big news for the FFG community, or FGG,
Yep.
excuse me.
FGC.
And they have one of
FGC,
the
sorry, my head. Long day, guys.
and they have one of the
It's
the best
Monday.
one of the best
Yeah.
players in that fighting arena is definitely gonna be
Absolutely. Well,
it's gonna be good for him.
also-
You're gonna get
Well,
your payout.
it's like Smooth. Also, last season he played Guilty Gear all last season. I think he made top 10 every tournament he played in. And it plays a lot like Guilty Gear, I believe.
Mm-hmm. It's close to it. It's a mixture between Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Guilty Gear.
Sounds like your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
So I'm just waiting right now.
So
for the game to
knowing
come out.
So knowing that, that's going to be obviously a huge step in the right direction for you guys, $450,000 as a prize pool. Do you think that's going to play any part in mind games with a lot of the players, or because obviously it's going to be a lot bigger payout than what everyone's going to be used to, and it's going to be a new game.
Everybody's got to learn the meta.
Right. So
I think you'll see a lot of the people like Smooth, who've been in the scene for a long time, start out doing well. Same thing happened with Rocket League. There used to be a game called Supersonic Power Cars. I don't know, some ridiculously long name, but it was essentially Rocket League. And all those kids who played that game like religiously when Rocket League came out were at the top. and now you're seeing them start to fall off as new talent starts to take over and learn the meta of the game. But I think my prediction would be you're going to see some popular names that you've seen before at the top of that game.
Smooth's gonna be right there with him.
Yep.
We're gonna try. That's what all I can do is practice.
Gotcha. So CS:GO, like I said, next week is gonna be a lot more talked about, just because there's gonna be a major. The qualifiers still going on right now. So we're gonna have more to talk about that. You want to talk about what happened to Virtus?
So as you guys know, Virtus Pro and Astralis last season, they were, I believe they were the best teams in the world.
Astralis.
Astralis, yeah, as you said it. Astralis won towards the end of the season. It was Astralis, Virtus Pro, Astralis. Now those teams towards the end of last season, they ruled last season. Now, as the qualifier has been progressing, it's on every day. They're getting 400,000 plus viewers on this major every single day online. That's a lot of viewers it's the top viewed game right now for the past week now. So both those teams have been eliminated and went 0-3 in this online qualifier. There's only one North American team left, and it is my second favorite org,
C9.
Cloud9, because HavoK is my first. But C9 is the hopes and dreams of the North American heart and soul. So they're currently 2-2. So I think they play one or two more qualifying matches. If they lose one, they go home. If they win, they advance, I believe, to the major. I think only 8 teams can qualify for the major, and there is, I believe, 10 teams left. As you know, FaZe is sitting on top, number 1 right now. SK is right behind them. The big powerhouses in Counter-Strike. I have my money on FaZe just because they've been playing phenomenal Counter-Strike all season long, or at the end of last season with the pickup of Nico and SK, the Brazilians. They've been putting in a lot of work. It's the same team, same roster. They're still a powerhouse team for Brazil. They're the powerhouse team. As for Virtus Pro, I don't know what's going to happen, but their contract is locked in until 2020. So they're going to have to get their shit together because they cannot afford to not keep qualifying for these majors.
Yeah, definitely.
This weekend is the Boston Major. It is the first major of the season. As for other Counter-Strike news, the ESEA season kicks off, I believe, on the 26th.
And we have a team in that, correct?
We have a team for the ESEA Open, and last night we acquired a international or intermediate team. So we have our Open team, they are a European team, and our IM team is North American. So we have teams in both leagues, are in the top bottom 2 tiers, but it is okay because if you make top 32 in the league itself at the end of the season, you get to advance up to the next tier. So our Open team should qualify to move up to intermediate, and our intermediate team will go to main. So once you get to main is where stuff starts to get really serious. And then after main, it's Premier, and after Premier is Pro. So our Open team actually was playing in the online qualifier for Katowice, however you want to say it. It is the biggest Counter-Strike tournament in the world. It's what all teams want to qualify for. That's they practice all year long, all season long to qualify for this. Our first round, there was something wrong with the ESL. They said a login issue. We beat the team 16-6, and the other team ended up getting a default win due to ESL, an error code. They did not cheat. For those of you who think that there has been some skeptical things being said on social media, said they cheated, yada yada, but they did not cheat. They talked to an admin, and once how majors and stuff works, once something is set in stone and it advances to the next, usually it stays like that. So the team did advance, the other team did advance, but they ended up getting 16-1 by the team in the second round, and that team also got disqualified, or they lost and got knocked out of the qualifier. So I'm really excited to watch the major this coming up weekend because you all know me. If I had a computer right now, I would definitely be playing Counter-Strike, but since my computer's down right now, I'm stuck to playing Fortnite on the Xbox, which is not too bad either.
Speaking of which, we got the squad, right? I'm in.
Oh yeah, we got us 4. We're gonna be playing right after the podcast, guys. So definitely stick around for that. It's gonna be myself, Austin,
News left, right?
Miss Cammy, as well as Mr. Shark. So we're all 4 gonna be playing some Fortnite, try the rocket ride, everything like that. We're trying to talk Miss Cammy into streaming. She has an Xbox now, so gonna try to get her up and running with that. What do you mean, oh God?
Nothing.
Oh, Halo.
So, right.
Halo.
Halo. It's been another slow week for Halo, guys. I've been trying to keep up with Halo, but same thing's happening for Halo. If you look at the free agent list, it's longer than the Call of Duty list. It's actually pretty freaking ridiculous. I don't know what it is with these shooting games, non-Counter-Strike shooting games. Teams can't stick together. I don't understand. They all are going past games and past placements that they've done. So they set a higher standard on people they play with, whether it is if this person did this in this game, they finished finished this well in this game. But it doesn't matter. New game, new faces. It's what you do in the current game, not what you do in the previous games. So a lot of these guys have. Halo has the biggest ego I've ever seen in my entire life. I tried to get on a team for this season, and knowing what I've done in the past in my Halo career, I was unsuccessful on finding a actual solid team. So I just gave up and said, you know what? I'm not dealing with this negativity, these egotistical mofos. I can't do it. So we've had teams hit us up, but I go look 2 days later, roster breaks up, new team. So that's pretty much it for Halo. Optic is not in first place. They're in second right now in point standings. But those guys. Yeah, same with Call of Duty. They're in second place as well. So maybe the run of Optic is over. They've been the powerhouse org for the past, I don't know,
what's that
4
word
years?
we're rooting for now? Oh, Reciprocity.
Reciprocity, yeah.
That's what we're rooting for now.
Reciprocity, yeah, my boy Mick over there. It is 2 of the original Envy players. Envy copped out of Halo this season, so you will not see a team envious in Halo this season at all, which it shocks me because, Envy has been, big supporters of, my good friend Mick and Snipe Down. They've been on that roster for the last, I would say, 3 years now. And it's sad to see these guys get out of Halo, but they do have teams in other esports as well. So Optic does have a League of Legends team as well, and they got destroyed by 100 Thieves. So I think that their run is over. Yep.
Oh yeah, that was that was so
terrible.
funny. At the big shouts out Nate Shot, man. Like I know probably a lot of people hate on Nate Shot, whatever. I love the guy to death. That was one of my biggest inspirations for Call of Duty, so I will always respect him. But he got Rocket Mortgages as his first sponsor. I thought that was hilarious. But they got a house for the it was for the league team, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do it right, get a mortgage company and get you a sponsor. They're going to get a house out of it, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you need to go look at Rocket Mortgages, everyone like that, and see if there's some rinky-dink mortgage companies near where you live, Austin. So
for sure.
Yeah. I get anything going. So never count yourself out, because people who you think would never sponsor esports are getting into esports now because it's such a big market now. I believe
Mark
Twitch.
Cuban, remember? He said
I believe
esports.
Exactly, and I believe last year I can't wait and see what the statistics are for this year, but Google was the #1 most searched thing on the internet, obviously because it's a search engine. #2 was Twitch.
Damn.
Yep.
I did not know that.
And Amazon was right after that. So
bigger than Amazon. Let's go.
Yep. Reason being, but you got to think. Okay, so views wise, not like just on PC. You got to think there's all these apps on phones around the world. So every time you the app is closed and it opens up brand new, that counts as a login for Twitch. So I mean, just imagine how many people watch that on a daily basis. I mean, you have 400,000 people watching that. I mean, obviously, yeah, everyone uses Google, but I mean, if you got 400,000 watching that, and there's tons and thousands of different games out there. Like, it just racks up every single day, man. So I think esports is definitely on the incline, and a lot of people who have been counting it out are dead wrong, and they need to rethink everything really, really fast. So,
especially all my friends out there that didn't believe, they're starting to become believers now and starting
Yep.
to join the HavoK trend. You guys know a few of my IRL friends have joined HavoK. You know, HavoK Volix and HavoK Plasma.
Yep.
You know, they've supported me through the years. When all my my closest friends from school and me, my parents doubted me, and as you can see, HavoK is growing more and more. We're gonna get into the members news soon. We did open up HavoK as a community now, so all are welcome to join. If you guys want to join, you can go ahead and hit up or Nate here, and we will get you.
Yep.
As for member news, go ahead, Jonas. You know, we have a few things to talk about as well.
Yeah, members news. Like Austin said, we're now you can basically join HavoK as a member on a member status. So by no means does that mean like you're insignificant to the team. You can definitely grow within member status on the team. The reason why we locked things down for the streamers is because it was, I don't want to say it was getting out of hand, but it was a lot to handle. It was overwhelming. So and it's no disrespect to anyone, like we said, with all the streamers that were on previously, you're grandfathered in, unless obviously you start disobeying or whatever it may be that leads to, your droppage to just member status. But if you want to join HavoK, then please, by all means, either see myself, Shark, Austin, or Mr. Winters. We'll definitely go over everything with you. Or Sleepy.
Winters is the Xbox community manager, and Sleepy, as you guys know, the Diamond Hit, one of our top YouTubers. He is now the official PlayStation community.
Yep. So that was something that we were also going to talk about. So big shouts out to Sleepy. Peaked around about 120 viewers today. So he's doing phenomenal.
160.
160. Okay. I was in there when it was at 120, so he got even higher than that. So both him and John, they're right there, really close to being partnered. So can't wait for both of them to go ahead and receive partnership. A long and hard grind for it. So they definitely do deserve it. But yeah, Sleepy's now the manager for the community over on PS4. Winters is over on Xbox. And then for PC and everything else, whether you want to play games or anything like that, go talk to Shark, Mr. Shark. He might revert you. He might not reach out to you. So if you don't get an answer back from him, you can definitely shoot myself a message or Austin. We might be able to get back to you a little bit faster just because Shark does work, Monday through Friday. He has he's got a full-time job. So definitely he's a very, very, very busy person. So and definitely myself and Austin have a little bit more free time on our hands. So don't be scared.
Only another month for me, guys.
Only another month. Yep. Big shouts out Austin. Not gonna state too much, but it's turned a lot of things around. So he's gonna be starting his big boy job here soon. So, and that is on February 20th, correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
And if we have any streamers watching or any viewers watching, we are trying to get our channel partnered. That way we can, for those of you who don't have the viewership and don't have, the viewers that you get to be on, a partnered stream team, have our channel is live. I try to stream every morning, start at 9 o'clock, and I try to stream all day on it. Only have a month left to do it. So please,
Hi, Hunter.
all you have to do, have it just open. You can mute it, but it has to be playing in order for it to be a viewer. The more concurrent viewers we get, the closer we reach our goal. I think we're sitting at around like 6% right now for concurrent viewers, but the other two standards have been met. So we are very close to being a partnered channel. We just need the concurrent viewers, which is, of course, the most difficult thing to acquire on Twitch. For all of them who are streamers, we know how hard you guys work. Be active if you can in our stream. I do drop in and watch, other streamers as well. And for those of you who are new to streaming out there, even if you have no one in your channel, talk. Even if you're talking to yourself, how silly it is, communicate, talk. Even if you're talking to a brick wall, it doesn't matter. People aren't going to watch streamers that aren't interactive with their channel. and their viewers as well. So please have the HavoK Esports Twitch channel and up in the background playing if you're not doing anything, just so we can get the extra viewer and work that much closer to our goal.
Yep. So there are different communities. We did start up just because the HavoK community, we've gotten so big here recently. We did have to break it off in Twitter. So if you're watching this and you're wondering, what's this talk about the Xbox and the PS4 and the PC community, reach out to us if you're not in one of those and you do have a PS4 or Xbox and you're not in that group chat. Please let us know. We'll put you into that. That's where you can basically meet new friends within the team that you can stream with, play with, etc. So definitely reach out to us on that. Some other news. Basically, starting as a member isn't something bad. So whenever you come to us, if you don't meet those requirements, when we tell you that you can start as a member and grow into a streamer, that's not us saying, like we don't think that you're good enough. It's not that at all. It's that when we're so close to being partnered, we just can't give it out like free candy. So it's definitely going to be for the ones who have shown the most growth and have put in a lot of time. Just because you've got 300 followers or you're affiliated, anything like that, doesn't mean that we don't think that you're doing good. It just means that there's people out there that have been doing it longer than you and that deserve it probably a little bit more than you. So once you put in the time, then you definitely are going to receive that as well. So I already have 2 interviews with people tomorrow, so we'll be going over that as well. So a big shouts out to everyone on the podcast. Thank you to HavoK Fortune for joining us, as well as HavoK Smooth, and congrats.
Go champ.
Yeah, congrats to Smooth being our first champ. So
Thank you.
yeah, so thank you for all of that. The HavoK song that you hear on the opening and closing of the podcast that you'll hear in just a moment, that is on the album. It comes out on Friday. That's myself, so that's the last time you'll hear about it because it's coming out in 4 days. Had a lot of good feedback on that, so very, very proud for that. That's going to conclude member news. Like I said, if anybody has anything to put on there, if you're going to an event, if you qualify for something, just like what Smooth did, please let us know. That way we can go ahead and give you a shout out in next week's. We're going to be looking for people to join us on next week's podcast as well. So if you do want to be on there, I believe Fixie is going to be on the next week's. So we got one more spot to call in. So if you do,
the PS4 Fortnite
yep,
team.
captain of the PS4 Fortnite team. So definitely we'll have Fortnite and CS:GO to talk about next week. So please stay tuned for that. Also, stay tuned for the post podcast broadcast that we're going to be doing right after this for Fortnite. Oh, that's a tongue twister, man. That's a tongue twister, dog. So I appreciate every single one of y'all coming out and watching the podcast. Hopefully everyone does like it. You can catch it over on YouTube, HavoK Esports. Just look that up. You can catch us at Twitter, HVK Esports. And I think that's going to do it from me. Like I said, I'm your host, Nades. You can find me at HavoK Nades, at HavoK Shark, at HavoK Prophecy, at HavoK Fortune, at HavoK Smooth. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, peace.